Hi and welcome back to Rad Riders. Today we're back on the camper conversion van. It's the 1st of December, it's a beautiful sunny day, so it's ideal for being outdoors. Put a lot of rain down last night, but it's nice and clear today, so I've got a little bit earlier start on being Sunday, because it is my day off. Got lots of chores to do and lots of jobs to do around the house as well. But I'm going to put about 3 hours, I'm going to get this ply line in the van, so I can make it all uniform and snug. The first section I've finger tightened in. Did come across one little issue which I'll show you. Come along with me. The first panel, I've loosely fitted it. I've not screwed it together yet. I've just tested it going into place. One thing that I didn't allow for was the fact that I padded the wheel arch. So I did have to trim in order for it to fit about 10 mil off the bottom. The rest didn't go to the exact bottom of the floor anyway, and this won't be seen because this is where the bed's going to go. I've tucked it under there and I just need to push it over and line that up. Once I'm happy with it, screw that down. And as you can see on this one, I've took about 10mm off that, exactly the same as the other one, but that's lesson learned. I've made that mistake, so you don't need to. I'd already done it on the roof lining with a 3 to 5mm gap. One thing that can be annoying and frustrating is when you're using these self-tapping screws, and these are quite long and quite thick. It winds and gets caught up in the carpet and bunches the carpet. Not too much from the front because you're putting pressure on the front and cutting straight through it, but on the rear it bunches up and you can feel it pulling. It's making quite a big knot in the back, so therefore it's not fitting as flush as it should do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pilot hole a couple of the screws first with a drill bit, and even though these are self-tappers, I'm actually going to drill a pilot hole and then finish it off with these. It'll just make it easier, it'll stop the carpet bunching up at the back, and it'll save time in the long run. So, pilot hole first. And then finish off with the Phillips. Much easier. If you do have a drill and a driver, an impact driver, or maybe two drills, cordless drills, it'd be good to use both of them. Then you're not having to switch over your drilling to your driving. But I don't, so it's going to take me a little bit longer. That'll be on my Christmas list. Much easier than the last one. If you haven't got one of these, get one of these. Very good. Let's get that screwed in. That's the rear panel fitted. So I'm going to carpet the arches, and that's where the sink unit's going to go over, so you won't see that anyway. Nice and tidy. Let's do some panels. For the door panels, I'm pre-drilling and then lining up the screws so I don't have to do it individually. I should have done that on the first one, but to be fair, you only learn by trying it out. Loosely put the 4 screws in. And line it up and tap them in place. If it needs any additional screws, I'll pop them in later. Now, I've lined this up and I made a little mark of where I wanted these to go. Now, these are not the right colour. I have ordered some black ones, but for now, just to get these up, I'm going to use these. So rather than drilling at an awkward angle with the self-tappers, I'm just making a little pilot hole. It just makes it easier for me. I say I've ordered some black ones of these, which I will replace, but just to get the lining in. I don't know whether I'm going to paint or carpet these yet. I need to clean them up anyway. So at this moment, I'm just going to fit the lining and then decide whether I do these internals with carpet or just spray them a nice satin black. Let's do the other one. Well, apart from little bits of snagging and trying to work out what I'm going to do with the exposed metal parts, whether to actually keep them in a colour them in a satin, because I do need access to get to the light bulbs, etc. So if I fully carpet it, I'm still going to have to cut holes in it. So I've not decided what I'm going to do with that yet. The next job is to get the side window put in, and I'm getting that done on Tuesday, and then I'll carpet around that once it's in. So I'm not going to make any choices on the rest of the snagging until yet. It's all in. I'll show it you around in a second. It's getting a little bit dark, so I'm just going to wire up temporarily the LEDs. So the wiring is just coming from the ceiling. I've not tucked it away. I've connected it up. I'm going to pop it into the old Bluetti. So power on, 100%, DC on. I'm going to just use this cigar lighter for now. I am going to get it set up, wired in properly, but this is the thing that's going to power the entire van with two 200-watt solar panels on the roof. I'm going to build a unit in for this, and this is going to be used to power the full amount. So it's not going to be using a split charge relay, and it ain't going to be using a leisure battery. This can be charged from the sun, or it can be charged from the car. And because it's so portable, I can take it indoors and charge it from a 240 outlet, which takes under an hour. Now for the remote. And there we have it. Eight spotlights wiring up the van. Let me give you a tour around. As I mentioned, there's little bits of snagging that needs to be done. But overall, that's pretty much lined. I am going to cover the arches. I don't know whether I'm going to use, in the distance you'll probably see there, one of the boxed in plywood liners. But the bed's going to go over this section anyway and cover it. So I think I'll just carpet that. And over this section is going to be the sink unit and storage. And that's not going to be seen. So if I box it in, it's going to take up space that I probably need. So I'll just carpet it and then it'll be covered. Flooring's all in. Let's have a look from the back. I've left these exposed because I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them, whether I'm going to paint them or carpet them. I probably will carpet them. But as for these sections here, you do need access for your lights, etc. So if I do carpet them, then I'm going to have to make little hatches in order to get to the bulbs, etc. There's the second door. And that's what it looks like inside. There is a side window going in that section there, but I have panelled it, and that's the lights. I'm glad I went with the 8. I was tempted to go with the 4 or the 6, but you can brighten these to 100% and that makes it nice and bright. 50%, 25%, and then of course disco mode. And back to light. Very good. So that's it for today. We've got the ply lining carpeted and fitted. We've got the roof ply line fitted and spotlights in, temporary wired up. I'll get them wires chased when I'm doing the rest of electrics. That's going to be on another video. I've got little bits of snagging to do on this, a couple more screws to put in there, and of course a little bit of carpeting. Don't know whether I will do them side exposed metal bits or leave it. I'm going to get the window fitted next. That's getting fitted next week. But the whole basis of it is done now. It's insulated, it's dry, it's warm, it's comfortable, it's got lights. So basically I can start using it, get some creature comforts in there and turn it into my ultimate motorcycle carrying camper van. Thank you very much for sticking around. I hope you've enjoyed this and found it informative. If you've got any comments, please leave them in the comments section below. I answer all my comments. And if you like what you see, please consider subscribing to my channel. It's completely free. I hope you join me on the next one. My name is Mick, you've been watching Red Riders, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye for now.